Rant.
Rave.
Repeat.
Rant.
Rave.
Repeat.
Yeah, there you go. Always in two laterals. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trav Snell.
I'm Liam Grogan.
And today we are going to talk about our lists of man crushes.
These are in no particular order, but kind of, because it's as we thought about them and we wrote them down. So I guess you could say there's kind of an order, but not really, because how can you quantify a crush?
Mm-hmm. So I'll start off with mine. A man crush. Let's first go into, very quickly, what do you define as... For people that don't know me personally, this is a big thing. I think probably, honestly, there's a good majority of people, if I didn't have a girlfriend, that would think I was gay, because I am very comfortable with sexuality. I talk all the time. I will many times just...
Yeah, you like one
drop
dick,
yeah. You sleep with a few guys. I could randomly bring up Matt Mikkelsen's like sexy accent, or like Michael Fassbender's.
You think his accent's sexy?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Or Michael Fassbender's dick that I saw in Shame, and like,
yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, but we don't talk about it like it's like, oh yeah, we saw his dick. You talk about it because that thing's impressive. He can golf without a club.
Oh yeah. That I can't even add anything more to that.
Yeah,
he's holding our mic right now. No,
he is our mic.
Yeah, it has all these powers. But like, I've never been that way, and like I have a lot of I have a few gay friends as well. So I don't know if that helped out, but like it's just never like the whole sexuality thing. If it bugs you, I am sorry. That's I'm not saying you're bad. Like some people aren't more comfortable. But for me, I am very comfortable saying, hey, that's a sexy guy. That's this blah blah blah. So for me, the three things that I always took for a man crush was, one, the good looking aspect. Now, first, before I state, they either have to have one of these or all three of these. Okay. Some of these have all three, like Fassbender, that's a spoiler, who's like a trifecta.
Is that a spoiler?
I hope not. But if you haven't listened to the first one, it is a spoiler. So, great, like good looking, really good looking guy. Great personality outside of acting. So someone you think you'd maybe, like, for me, have a water with.
I'd have a beer with.
Cook a marshmallow. You'd want to go camping with that guy. You want to hang out with that guy. And then number 3, world-class acting/actor. Because a guy, as weird as it could be if I was gay, would turn me on with some of his acting. It'd be that so good. There's someone that hooks
mine's
me
the
in.
first two. It's not the third one.
Not good acting?
Some of my picks are going to be like, that's not a good actor.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it has to be, because there's some people on this list that I don't even think are super, like, oh, man, super attractive. I'm like, because his acting's so good, I'm really invested in this guy. And I think the definition of man crush is you want to go on a date with somebody, you know? And, like, that, like, I mean, like a man date.
Yeah,
I mean, to clarify, a man date, you want to get to know that person. So, like, yeah, that's what what started. And then what really started, I'll go into, like, my first one. Because I, for the longest time, I have 10, and I'm adding 5. It would have been 16. This is not to shit on him. I did take out James Franco. He was on there at one point.
Because I despise James
Franco. No, it was before you, because it just, like, there was just, like, I don't know, it just didn't really fit anymore. So, the very first person I thought about this for, what started the list, was Sean Penn. Mm-hmm. Acting-wise, phenomenal. I think he's a unique-looking individual, and not saying he's ugly, but
I don't understand how he's had so many hot girlfriends and wives.
Because he has that bad boy. Like, this is gonna... If people are really uncomfortable with their sexuality, they're really gonna have a tough time with this ending podcast. But it's probably good to look at the end. But, like, just bad boy, doesn't give a fuck. And the way he talks to people, like...
Honestly,
bad past withstanding, if it's true or not, I take that out. Hopefully I think he's a better person now. He does a lot of great things for charity.
He just seems like he's kind of a cunt. Like, you know how, like, Johnny Depp kind of has that bad... Like, he's got a bad boy persona, but you know he's got a heart of gold. Sean Penn just feels like he literally has just, like, an empty void inside him that's full of, like, cigarettes.
That I would fill. No, I'm joking. But, no... And the big thing is that comes down with him...
It's the acting.
Is the acting.
Yeah.
It is... I always say this for many things. I Am Sam was the first time I saw... It's the same when I talk about Departed. That was the first movie I felt I saw as a person like, I like this movie and I don't know why, because it's just talking. And I was like younger, like teenager, like kid. That's when you're still like, oh, just action movies. That I remember that year. I liked The Departed, and I saw like the year before when I saw Transformers, and I didn't like it. And I was like, I should love this, you know? Like and that was my first movie. Like first movies I was critical, and that Sean Penn gave me the first performance where it was like, I didn't feel like, oh, this is the movie. I felt like, man, this guy is a great actor, and he's doing so good. And that was the first time I noticed, like, the acting had to go involved, because then when I found out he wasn't special needs, because I was younger, you're like, that's not him. Like,
to clarify, you're talking about the movie I Am Sam.
Yes, not Gangster Squad.
No, not just Sean Penn in general.
Yeah.
When I found out he wasn't special needs.
No, I saw that, and then I followed him, and then because when I get some of those man crushes, I'll try and watch all their films. And then there's many great performances. I think probably in a top 10 performance for me, it would be Mystic River.
Oh yeah,
it's phenomenal.
When they're dragging him away.
Oh, when he finds out, like I was emotionally upset when he finds out his daughter's and he just my daughter in there. That crushed me, and from there that's why he's like, and these aren't listed in rank of the most important, just of when I put them on, and he's number one because like acting wise was just crazy, crazy good, and he's always been maybe some mad performances here and there, but most of the time I think maybe a decade ago he was one of the greatest actors of his decade.
What was the last movie that he was in? Is he kind of taking a break from acting?
He was in that Ben Stiller directed movie one.
Walter Mitty?
Yeah, he was in that. That was the last thing I saw him, and it was like good.
Because the last movie that I can remember him is Milk, which is just
so good.
That is an incredible performance.
And that's the thing, when he is in a good movie like that, I almost think there's no one better. And I think we've talked about this. Offcast. I love film. Film Buff's probably gonna shit on me, and it's because I didn't grow up in the time. I don't always see what people saw in Marlon Brando. I think it is because I grew up in the time, but it's because I've seen so many shit performances.
Yeah.
And even Sean Penn, I've seen some bad ones, but the majority are good. And to me, when he is good, I don't know if there's anyone better. Because in Mystic River, Milk, and even I Am Sam, he should have fucking won. They talk about that in Tropic Thunder, but he should have won.
He went full retard.
Yeah, but he should have won. And to me, he's So, do you want to go back and forth, or do you want?
Yeah, let's go back and forth. My list is in no particular order.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with probably the antithesis to Sean Penn, and that is Vin Diesel.
Oh my god!
I fucking love Vin Diesel.
But that's fair. I can kind of see why. See, for me, my list is different, but I can see why you have a man crush on him.
I think it
especially after Fast and Triple X.
You know what? I actually never watched Fast and Furious ones till Fast and Furious 6. And
did you watch them before?
No, I 6 is the first one that I watched.
Wow,
and then I rewatched them all.
Oh, I was interested because The Rock was in there and Statham was in there, so I watched the other ones and then got it. I still think the first ones are kind of meh, but
cars were never like growing up. Like I was never like a big car guy.
Same, so that's why I was like, no.
Yeah, but it was actually Pitch Black was the first movie that I saw him in. I watched it with my brothers, and I was like, this guy is dope as fuck. And then he had Triple X, and I was
Triple X is so fucking sick. I don't care what people say that movie. That is great.
It's probably one of the best Bond films to come out in a long time.
Because it's dirty Bond, people write off, but no, I'm so excited for the return of Xander Cage.
Oh my god, right?
Oh, I'm so excited. That is on the classic, like, it probably is kind of a bad movie, but like, that is on the list of like guilty pleasure because everyone's like, that's not a good movie, but I'm like, that's a fucking good. When he has that gun with all those cool different darts and he has like that fur coat and like I want that
is
so
badass.
Oh,
so like I remember seeing that and just being like, this guy's it. I don't know if you ever saw this movie, Find Me Guilty.
When he's fat and the lawyer.
When he's fat, and that was when I was like, oh shit, he can act too.
He doesn't do it as much anymore. He kind of once he got back into Fast, he was like, this is what I'm doing.
Well, the amount of money that he makes off Fast, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. So and like that's when I was like,
I even liked him in The Pacifier.
I love The Pacifier, man. Just because it's one of those movies like if it was anybody else, I'm like, but because it's him, I love it.
I'm with you. Now that you said that,
I remember seeing Chronicles of Riddick. The second one was called Chronicles of Riddick. That's another example of trying to set up a franchise, and then it just being like, what the fuck's going on in this?
Yeah.
And then Pitch Black. What was the third one? It was just Riddick, wasn't it? Yeah, Riddick.
Yeah.
Loved it. I love The Last Witch Hunter. Man, you got him and Elijah Wood.
Never seen that.
Frodo Baggins and Xander Cage killing witches.
Oh.
And Ygritte. Dude, I'm in. That's it. I love him. There's something about him that I find so charismatic. And I think probably one of his best performances is Groot.
Come on!
He says
anybody could have done that. I'm sorry.
I disagree that anybody could have done that. However,
I could have done that.
However, when that final line says "We are Groot," tell me that you did not tear up.
But I think
tell me that you did not get emotional.
Writing. I don't think that has anything to do with his voice.
But you know what? That has everything to do with his voice. Because if you'd just been like, "We are Groot," it'd have been like, I'm not feeling it. Well,
obviously, it's not gonna be our voice coming to the tree.
But the way that he made with 3 lines made you believe that character is impressive. I just love him. I absolutely do.
Fair enough.
Okay, well, who do you got next?
Number 2, Christian Bale.
Not on my list.
I know, of course not. If you've listened to Dynamic Duo, my love for Christian Bale has been well documented.
I don't hate him, just not my favorite. Best movie, Rain of Fire.
You know that's a lie. And I would say, and I still wouldn't say Dark Knight is his best movie. I think it's one of his best, but his best movie.
The Fighter.
What?
I'd say The Fighter is his best.
No, his best movie for me is the movie that made me fall in love with him, and I have a big thing for serial killers, but it is American Psycho.
Okay, fair
That's
enough.
a performance that, to me, he disappears, and when I saw that movie and heard he was going to be Batman, I was like, man, I'm so excited. And American Psycho is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's my favorite dark black comedy because it's just like, it's just so outrageous. And then after that, he's killed it. I think up until this point, because of writing, he's the best Batman. Affleck is great, but I need to see more because it's half a movie. But he's that fighter, as you saw, phenomenal. Machinist. American Hustle, which is a whole movie, he's still really good in it.
I think that's a weird movie.
Yeah,
because it's so average, but it's still, but it's good.
But he's good at the role, and he's just always a guy that. Big Short, he's the best part of that movie, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's a guy
that wasn't Prison Mike.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a guy that really is a chameleon. That's one of my favorite things. He's on all the spectrums because he's kind of a dick in real life, and I like that. There's one thing in the Oscars, Pharrell was singing to him in the front row, and he was just like shaking his head, like "fuck off." Like, and I love that he doesn't give a fuck. I find him super good looking, and I think he. For me, from 2000 2010, I would on record say he was the greatest actor of that decade. And in my opinion,
you know what? He's probably the best part of that Terminator Salvation too.
Oh yeah, for sure, because Sam Worthington was not, and Anton Yelchin, R.I.P., was really good Kyle Reese. But I think Christian Bale, to me, he's a chameleon. He can, and he continues to do it.
Yeah.
Any role, I don't think you could ever see. There's may have been some bad performances, but you can never say, man, that was fully bad. And he, to me, is one of the greatest actors in this generation. But from 2000 2010, I don't know if you can name anybody that had better game than him. You have American Psycho, you have The Fighter, you have The Dark Knight. Like, just those three alone. I know you, for Batman, you feel like Batman, the films overshadow him, but I feel like he's like a player. He's almost like a great defender on a football team. Like, he does his job right of being a really good Batman.
While letting the others people shine. No, and like, I really like Christian Bale.
Except for Batman Begins. Stand by that.
But it's funny. I think it was when he won the Oscar for The Fighter.
Thank God.
I didn't know he was Welsh.
Oh yeah.
And I thought he was doing an accent, and I was like, "What a cunt!" Like, what? And then I look him up on IMDb as I'm doing this. Oh no, he's Welsh.
And his American accent, especially in Batman Begins, so good.
Spot on.
Never.
I thought he was faking his real accent. Yeah. That's how good he is.
Did you know for Batman Begins, he did the press tour with an American accent because he didn't want to. They said they didn't want to confuse people with his accent, so the whole press tour he did his American accent. It's really crazy. All interviews and whatnot.
That's crazy. I didn't see that.
So to me, would he? As a film buff, when he won his Oscar, that was one of the greatest moments of my life. As a film buff. Not in my life, but as a film buff nerd, I really want that. He might be my favorite actor. It's tough. I really like Fassbender. I really like Sean Penn. But if it's those are the top three, I'll have to wait till, not to be more, but until they would all pass and I could see the whole work to say this was the best one. But he will always be one of my favorite actors. So that's why he's around.
So I got one. I don't even think we really need to go into it. I know he's on your list. The Rock.
He's on my list.
What?
Because it's tough for me with wrestling because I love him in a different sense, but I don't think he's a good-looking guy. But I'm not super attracted to him.
When he smiles,
that's fair.
And you're just like, man, you know what? My heart, you are the nicest guy in the whole world. I'm really excited for his new Disney movie, Mona.
Oh,
I remember seeing him in The Scorpion King. I think it was the first thing that he was in, like, kind of post-wrestling. Also, Calgary Stampeder. Shout out to the CFL. And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, I like to see where this guy's going. Like, because he just has that leading man charm. His acting is definitely improved from his earlier films.
But I guess that's part of my problem. He's on my list because he has gone the leader man and stuff like. I want to see him do more stuff like Be Cool.
I was gonna say, and then I saw him in Be Cool.
I want to see him in a Tarantino movie. I want to see him, and that's my thing of. I felt like he was doing that. He got in the Disney movies, which was an awful period.
The Race to Witch Mountain. Yeah,
exactly. That was awful. And then he came back as leading man. But I think because he did that now, and I'd like to start watching Ballers again. But I watched Ballers, and I love The Rock. He's on my Mancrushes, but I love The Rock, one of my favorite wrestlers and people of all time. But I just didn't get into the show Ballers. You know,
I haven't started it yet.
Yeah, and it's he's good, but it's like the rest of the people are kind of like, I just want to see The Rock. You know, like I'd
like to see him actually in an emotional role. Like, I want to see him in a drama.
He did that, and he wasn't the greatest at it.
And which one?
What is that one? Snitch. I think it's Snitch. It's the one where it's and I saw that opening night. I was really excited, and then when I saw it, I'm like, he's close, But he needs more roles like that.
And so, but I don't want him as the main character. I want him as a side character.
What Nicolas Cage should always be doing.
Yeah.
Kick ass.
Yeah, exactly, right? So you get enough, because I love The Rock. Apparently he's box office gold.
Oh, yeah. Except for Hercules. We talked about that.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
That movie just
everyone gets one.
Yeah, everybody gets one. Thanks, Spider-Man. Yeah. But no, I absolutely love The Rock.
Everybody has their Robert Downey Judge moment.
He's not somebody that I would go see in theaters, but really? I will go see every one of his movies. I will go see.
I will go see them most of the time. I did not see Hercules, but I think I've probably seen everyone. I haven't seen Central Intelligence, but I really do want to.
Yeah.
Okay, and I did not see San Andreas because I'm like, I don't need another.
I did.
Did you like it? It's what to be expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it was fair. It's one of those movies. I know we talked about this earlier in the cast. It's fair. Like, it's a popcorn movie. It's a structure. I'm like,
Independence Day.
Yeah, it's what it was. It was a movie that I kind of had on the background when I was making dinner one night. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, it was fine. It was it was okay. Nothing big, but who do you got next?
I have, for only pretty much 2 performances, Michael C. Hall from Dexter.
Okay, I could see that.
From Dexter. Dexter at one point was my favorite show. I think 1 to 4 those seasons. At that point, it could have been considered, in my opinion, the best written TV show of all time. And then it falters in a big bad way. But those first 4 seasons are as strong as fuck. And you can't dispute that. After spoilers,
I can because I haven't seen it. But
okay, you haven't? Yeah, no. It starts with Strong as Bad. The other one I don't think you've ever seen, 6 Feet Under.
I have, actually.
Oh, you have? Yeah. Do you like 6 Feet Under?
I do like that show.
I love 6 Feet Under so badly. So it's just those 2 performances. I think he's kind of good in a creepy, sexy way. I like that because of Dexter. He's a guy. He's another guy. Same as Bale. I say this probably anybody. I want them in a Tarantino movie. But Michael C. Hall and Bale I really think would flourish.
I don't know if Bale would.
I think he would in the sense of being in the Bill sort of role from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Small villainous sort of role. I think he could. Not like John Travolta.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
I think
I could see that.
That's what I could see. But Michael C. Hall, he could. One of my favorite things is in 6 Feet Under when there's that dream episode and he's a stoner and he plays it so well. And that's where he could be in Tarantino. Michael C. Hall, I know he's killing it on Broadway. I'm supposed to be telling why it's Mancrush, but I'm really waiting for him to do shit in film. I don't know why he's just disappeared and been in a thing here and there. It frustrates me. I desperately want him as the Riddler or Hush or Black Mass.
I can see him as Hush, yeah.
Or Carnage. Someone needs to get him. He's the same way as I said cast a long time ago and Marvel got him, but with Mads Mikkelsen, I was like, someone needs to get him after Hannibal because he was free. And of course, Marvel was like, yeah, we're taking him. And then hey, you want to be in Star Wars too? Yeah, he'll be in Rogue One.
Yeah.
He'll be Jin's dad. But
who's dad?
The main character's dad, supposedly in Rogue One. He's her
What was
dad.
her name?
Jin Erso.
Okay, I think he said Jizz.
Yeah,
and
Jin.
I was like,
you want to be Jizz?
I was like, wait, what? What's her name?
So I think it's because he's doing Broadway, but I'm just waiting for him. But I think for me, with Dexter, he's a chameleon. With 6 Feet Under, that role is so strong. He's my favorite character in the whole thing, and he's kind of a dick, which is great. But he's just a great actor. I don't think a lot of people would know because they just kind of associate him with those last few seasons of Dexter, which he's still good in, but they're not the highest quality. So I just really liked him. And that's another thing I guess in my Mancrushes are people I'm always rooting for. I'm always rooting for him. I always think he's a guy I think that could turn in an Academy Award performance. He just hasn't gotten anything. Could be by choice because he loves Broadway. Yeah. But I'm waiting for a movie. I'm waiting for him to pop up in DC Marvel. So that's that.
Yeah. Okay. Who do I got next? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know what it is about this guy. I'm going to add
him right now. You're right, because I've tinkered with it. I almost add him after Don John, and I don't know why I didn't.
He is so goddamn charming. I remember watching Third Rock from the Sun, and it was kind of even as I watching that growing up. I was like, you know what? I want to see this guy in more. I like him.
Have you seen Don John?
I have. I'm 50-50 on it. I like what he was trying to do. It didn't quite work for me. It wasn't my favorite. By no means do I think it's bad.
Rom-coms, actually.
I think more so because it was not what I expected it to be. Yeah, I think is what fair. It was. But I just watched it the night before. And
so good. So strong.
Yeah, which surprised me.
Yeah.
And I loved him in that. But the part where I really was like, I got a man crush up on him was, I think it was Just for Laughs. And he came up and played a song he did in French. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't know he was all that musical. Mm-hmm. And he has a cover of one of my favorite songs, Ignition by R. Kelly, where he's up there with an acoustic guitar doing an acoustic, and I was just like, this guy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's my boy.
I think I agree. I think for him, it's a big like personality thing. He just seems like an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Just stuff like when he showed up at the Force Awakens premiere dressed in like this like fake like Yoda costume.
You like know, how you would dress on like Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I actually just add him because I thought I added him at some point and I did, and you remind me. And then for me, yeah, he's a great actor who has the past few years, other than Night Before, kind of fell into some like not as great roles, like I like The Walk and stuff like that, which is kind of meh. But like I
think he's. It's just he's gonna have one role, and people are gonna be like, he's incredible, and he's just gonna pop.
Yeah, I love him. I think he'll do something big. He'll be around forever now because people really like him. But yeah, he's a good actor. I think he in a parallel universe, he's probably the best Spider-Man we never got here.
Oh yeah,
I think that would have been perfect casting. Obviously, he was too old at that point, but that would have been something great. And yeah, no, he's definitely. I would agree.
To me, he just kind of has that timeless classic that persona about him, and I think The Rock kind of has that too.
Yeah.
It's just there's something about him that like you just look at him and they look like a celebrity. I mean, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt definitely is not like your typical handsome guy.
Yeah.
But there's just something about the way that he carries himself, and that he can sing, he can dance, he can act. Like he's so multi-talented.
Best lip sync battle of all time.
Oh, without a doubt. Like it's just like there's just something about him that I just find him captivating. I just like to watch him in things.
No, so. I agree. I think that's probably part of the reason why I do like Don John so much. Maybe if someone else was in there, no, but next,
there's just one more movie that he was in, and where he actually gave a really like incredible performance, and 50, I can picture. That's what it is. Thank you. 50-50. I'm trying to think of the name, and I could see him when he's going, mom. Yeah. And like that's when I was like, holy fuck, that he's really good. Actually, also, even Seth Rogen in that movie blew me away acting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's up there.
I got the I don't know. Are Australians Kiwi technically?
No, Kiwis. No, God, no.
What's
no, don't say that. That's just for New Zealand. That's like a slur.
What are they called?
Aussies.
Australian? Aussies. The Great Aussie.
Or cunts.
I'm just gonna say the Great Aussie, not Ozzy Osbourne. Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah, he's on my list too.
Okay.
It's Hugh Jackman.
You give me so much shit though in our top 25 performances of Wolverine, so I wasn't sure how you felt.
No, because I love musicals. I've been in a lot of musicals. I fucking love Hugh Jackman. Like everything that he does, it just makes me go, oh, like you just feel warm inside when he does things.
Great person outside of Hollywood, so nice. And yeah, I think he's always put in great performances. To me, I think from a fanboy perspective, Wolverine's my favorite. But then I think from a film perspective, my favorite, and Bale gets a lot of shot for this too, is The Prestige. Prestige is
mine's Les Mis.
A phenomenal. I fell asleep during Les Mis.
Oh, I loved it.
It was too much singing.
I if you're not a musical fan. My
it's not even a musical though. They just sing the whole time, and I was just like that. Like I tried because I like everyone in there, and it was for the Academy Awards. Yeah. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna get through Les Mis without hablas.
Yeah,
John Travolta.
Yeah, I can't say it either. But no, I love him.
But yeah, I love Hugh Jackman just in general. I'm gonna always watch what he does. He's always putting in same guy. Never a bad performance. Always good.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it's going to be so hard for Fox. He sent that benchmark for Wolverine, and I don't know if anyone will top that. His other performance is great. Like I said, The Prestige is one of my all-time favorite movies. I fucking love the shit of that movie. And yeah, so Hugh Jackman, that's my number 4. Love Hugh Jackman.
So this is going to be... Because I honestly, I really couldn't decide. But I'm just going to say pretty much every dude in Game of Thrones. I know that's kind of cheating, but when I say that, I don't mean like... I'm talking like Bronn, Tyrion... Kit.
You're talking Bronn?
Yeah.
So you have this little boy on your man crush list?
No, that's Bran.
Oh.
Bronn.
Okay.
Come on, pay attention to the names.
I don't know.
No, Bronn the mercenary. He was.
I was so worried.
He just seems like a dope guy. Like there's him, Kit Harington,
Jamie.
Jamie Lannister. Obviously Tyrion.
Is the Littlefingers on your list?
No, the Littlefinger creeps me out. Jorah Mormont. And
was Bolton on your list?
Yeah, Ramsay Bolton's on the list. Have you seen him? Have you seen Misfits?
No, I haven't.
He's so good at Misfits.
I have to watch it now.
And he's a good guy in Misfits. And actually, oh my God, Joffrey. I just think. Have you seen him interviewed?
No,
he's incredible, and there's
the guy.
Him and then Sir Davos. Everything about those guys, like they just remind me of like guys that I play rugby with, and like there's something about them that I just find like not their persona in the show, but when I see them interviewed, that they're all so different than their characters. I just find there's just something about him. All of them. I just want all of them to succeed and have great roles.
Wow, that's a huge
I know.
spectrum. Ryan Gosling, starting all the way back from Goosebumps. I love Say Cheese or Say Just Die. And then he got, obviously, I actually do like The Notebook. Really good. He's good in it. But the one that he did get me with is Drive. I'm looking at it right now. Drive, that's his French version. But Drive.
I was actually going to ask what the hell this was.
Yeah, it's Drive. Drive is definitely one of my favorite movies of this newer generation. And yeah, he sold me in that because that performance, people be like, oh, he doesn't talk, but it's like, yeah, that's why it's so good, because he doesn't talk most of the time, and you can see
I would argue that it's actually the one next to it is Crazy Stupid Love, is where I was like, he's really charming. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because like every role that he's been in, he's kind of like, he doesn't really talk. He's kind of, and I was like, I don't know about this guy.
And that's why you gotta see The Nice Guys, because he is just a motor mouth, and he plays like a spoiler, like a bitch character who's like really afraid of shit, and it's so good. And then like, just, and he seems like a really cool guy outside, but just as far as like looks, man, like, the body on that kid is like, I don't know why.
Photoshopped.
I don't know why the fuck is he not playing like a superhero at this point. You know, like he's a brick house, but he's like a brick house in like, it looks like a natural way, not in this like, man, this guy just works all the time. Not like Mark
Wahlberg.
Yeah, like he looks
like a brick shit house.
So I think Gosling, I think right now he's doing more like mainstream stuff, like he's doing Blade Runner 2, stuff like that. But I think in the next 10 years, you could see him winning an Academy Award or doing more performances like that. Like, there's that story of him with Winter Bone. I don't know if you've heard of this, and he gained, like, a lot of weight for the role, and he grew a lot of facial hair, and Peter Jackson's like, what you doing? And, like, he's like, well, this is what the character should be. Like, his daughter's dead, blah, blah. Like, he, I think, is a method actor who has slipped away from that a bit, because he's been doing a few more, like, different sort of things. But, yeah, Gosling to me, big fan of his acting. I think in the next 10 years you're going to see him do some really great stuff. Like some like Mystic River type of Sean Penn stuff. That's I kind of get a young Sean vibe.
I think he's capable of it.
Yeah.
Whether or not he takes it is all another thing. But no, I'm down with it. He's not on my list, but I really like him. My next was Sam Rockwell.
That's fair.
He never really kind of... I've seen him in, like, the odd thing. Like, I loved him in Galaxy Quest, but it's kind of like, whatever. But it wasn't until Moon that I was like, oh, this guy's really good. And I think that's also why I kind of like Iron Man 2, is because Sam Rockwell's in it.
Oh, he makes it watchable.
Yeah, and I love that. I love Seven Psychopaths.
I think that's... I was going to look for what's in my room, but
I love... There's just something about him that I just find...
Very underrated film.
Yeah, he's just charming. He's a good actor. Yeah. And he's one of those guys, like, you never hear about him, but he's in a movie, and he's always, like, the best part. And then it's funny, I go back and watch Galaxy Quest now, and I'm like, man, he's, like, one of the best parts of one of the best films ever. So...
who do I got next? Oh, I know who I got next. John Hamm. Madman. That's all I can say. He's not done much else, but I just love him, Madman. Don Draper, great character. Phenomenal actor. I'm very interested to see what he does next in his career. I feel like he's going to go down the comedic route. I don't want him to. And I
hope he does, because that's how I like him best.
I know. And then, like, I know you don't agree, but same thing, parallel universe. He is the best Batman and Superman at the same time. I think
I can see him as Superman more than Batman.
But because you haven't watched Madman, if you watch Madman, you'd be like, that's Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Like, so, yeah, that's all I can say. Really good looking man. Like... Just like he looks like classic Hollywood, you know. That's what I like.
He does. And
also that has a lot to do with the Madman and the suits. But like he looks like you put him in the '60s, he fits, you know. So
well, actually, it's funny. Even in Hail Caesar, which I've downloaded, I haven't seen it yet. Channing Tatum on the cover of that does look like classic Hollywood. Yeah. So which is probably what I'm most excited to see. But my next one is
look for the young Han Solo in that movie.
Not an actor.
But your list is getting weird.
Michael Bublé.
Game of Thrones cast, Michael Bubble.
Matt,
have you seen him and Bubble?
I have seen him. Yeah, and I was like, that's so funny. I'm gonna use him right after Ham now.
Can I leave? Not yet.
He has me trapped in his basement. Just keep singing. I absolutely love Michael Bublé. I've seen him a couple times live. He is so charming. His Christmas special every year is one of my favorite things.
I own an album somewhere here.
I have all of his albums. Like he's just that old school like crooner, and I just love it. And every time I see him interviewed, he's so funny. Yeah, he's just such a nice, likable guy. I just can't get enough of him.
That's fair. I'll give it. I can't say he'd be on mine, but here comes the big one. I won't talk too much. Michael Fassbender.
I think you've talked enough about Michael Fassbender.
You know, I think right now when I talk about Bale, I think from 2010 to 2020, Fassbender will be considered the greatest actor. I think he already should have 3 Oscars. I'm super biased, but like Shame, if anyone's seen Shame, which a lot of people have not. Have you seen Shame?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright because we talked about the dick. Like, I feel like that was the most underrated movie that year, and I feel like because of the subject matter, it turns a lot of people off of like watching a sex addict. It is very uncomfortable, but that was great. 12 Years a Slave, he should have won for. And
I loved him in Prometheus, and I did not like that movie.
Prometheus is so good, and because he's so good, he's the most convincing robot I think I've ever seen, and that's what I mean.
Because he does things, and you're like, you honestly think he's a robot.
Oh, I know.
Like, he's so good in it.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that he kind of just does, like, those slight head tilts.
Oh, yeah.
And it's...
You're making me want to watch Prometheus tonight, just to see that performance, and that's what I'm actually excited for the second
I hated that one, but I was like, you know what? I kind of hope he gets a nod for acting, because he was that good.
And he should have, and that's, I guess, my biggest thing. And same with even Jobs, who, like, people didn't like or liked. I still thought, like, acting-wise, it was maybe better than what Leo did, because Leo just did a lot of, like,
Yeah, grunting and
I think Leo should have won for other stuff. I'm not saying Leo... I honestly think Django was the one that they missed, but with Fassbender, to me, is very much like the Bale thing, where you could never name a Fassbender performance that was same as the other one. And you even look at... And to me, I know you disagree because you love McKellen, but I think, and you got to see Apocalypse. The things that he does with Magneto is incredible. And even if you might not consider it better than McKellen, I think a lot of people consider it at least up to par. Like, he didn't drop the baton and be like, man, McKellen was great, but now Fassbender's kind of all right. Like, it's a different take, and it's great, you know. Like, and even with...
I'll give it to McAvoy as well.
Even McAvoy, yeah. Like, it's because he didn't get so much scenery, but, like, same thing. They both, like, we were lucky to get 2 generations of good actors. But Fassbender, yeah, it's just... I know I always joke about him being so sexy and blah, but it is, for me, his acting. I think he is the greatest actor of this generation. I think many Oscars in his future. I think he is the biggest chameleon we have right now. He doesn't have a role that's the same. You look at what we just listed off, 12 Years a Slave, David, Magneto, Shame, Steve Jobs. Like, they're always something completely different. The only one that was that I saw recently was The Counselor, because that was not a really good movie.
See that, actually.
Don't see it. Other than Cameron Diaz fucking a car, there's not much in that movie.
I really don't like her.
That scene's worth it.
Okay. I'll give it a okay, next, Ryan Reynolds. Is he on your list?
No, I've thought about him many times, but he didn't make it. I don't know why.
To me, I think he's probably like my biggest disappointment in Hollywood, because I really feel like he should have had a bigger career than he does. But I think it's also because he tried to pick a career that he's not suited for. He's
a lot of shit movies.
Yeah, and he's a comedian. Yeah. He's not that great of a serious actor.
He's not Green Lantern.
His issue is that he's really good looking. And like I can't remember what his name was, but there's a comedian. It was on Just for Laughs. He does a whole thing on how ugly people are better comedians, and the best comedians in the world are not the best looking people. Yeah. Because
they make that joke in Funny People and stuff. He's like, you're not funny anymore. Like, what do you mean? Like, you lost all that weight. Like, no one wants to laugh at a skinny white guy.
Yeah, and it's like there's another guy. It's like he's like, oh, like Brad Pitt. Are you gonna believe that a girlfriend dumped him? Oh, no, of course not, right? And I think that's a bit of an issue. And like people are like, oh, he's a leading man in comedies, and not in everything else. I just rewatched A Proposal, and
great movie.
I really do like that movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. I really like that movie a lot.
I did, and Betty White just fucking kills it in that
But then you have stuff like what you're saying, like, he does a good job in it, but in Safe House, I'd never buy him as this, like...
Yeah, it was...
Semi-FBI, like,
well, to me, it was like...
with something spy.
It was okay, and I was like, oh, it was okay.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like...
It wasn't for Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, he was really good in Buried.
And then I choked him in Cameo, I like that.
Yeah, did you see Buried?
Oh, yeah, he said Barry. I'm like, what the fuck is Barry?
He was alright in that. Yeah. Like, he was actually pretty good. Like, considering it was just him, like, he did a pretty good job on that film. But I was gonna say, I don't think he's found his thing. Deadpool is clearly him.
Deadpool is what he'll be playing for the next 20 years.
Oh, yeah, I kind of hope he does get something else.
I don't think he will. Because I think...
I don't think he will either, but I'd like him to.
Like, him almost dying, like, star power.
Yeah.
And I don't think enough people give him enough credit in Deadpool. The emotional scenes when he does have cancer, to me, that was him having some acting chops, and he got to do some stuff in there. So I think it.
But it wasn't solely that, and it was very much on his incredible, like, his comedic timing is.
Oh yeah, it's
prime.
No, like, between him and Downey, like, there's no better people out there, you know.
I would argue my next person on my list, but
okay, we'll get there.
Yes.
Tying it back into The Counselor, that amazing film. Javier Bardem.
Okay.
This is a big thing.
I disagree, but I can see where you're coming from.
This is a big thing that has to do with accents. That accent he has, phenomenal. But it's definitely more of an acting thing as well. No Country for Old Men, one of my favorite performances of all time.
Yes.
Anton Chigurh is one of the scariest motherfuckers you'd ever see. And then, to me, he gave us what gave us the greatest James Bond film was Silva, and he gave for me. He's my favorite James Bond film.
But what else is he kind of done beyond that? Because I think
Beautiful. The Spanish film.
But so 3 films in the last like 10 years. Like he, by no means am I trying to.
He was in
tear
Collateral.
Him down.
He was a drug lord.
That's true. Because I love Javier Bardem. I just want him in more movies because he's so good.
What the fuck is that one? I've actually seen it. Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Like, and to be honest, I'll fully admit I actually get him and Benicio del Toro mixed up sometimes.
I think we've had this. I think we said, and yeah, like I agree. I don't know how. Like I have not seen a huge variety of work. I've seen a lot of bigger stuff of his, but I just love all the stuff he does, and he's given me 2 of my favorite performances of all time. Mm-hmm. Sugar Scary. That I always remember the shift in my theater when he was interrogating James Bond, and then when he starts to touch his thighs. The shift in that theater of like, oh, this is like a scary hardcore villain, and then he's like, maybe not gay, but just his like the way he plays with James Bond. It's something I never thought James Bond film, because the James Bond films are so masculine and so like about being a guy and cars and guns. But the second that turn, and I know a lot of people are like, that's not my James Bond, but it's like it was fun. Like a good twist. So yeah, I think he's one of the best actors. I think he just doesn't do that much.
Yeah,
you know? I think on the counselor.
I think Friendo. All you need to know.
Oh yeah.
Like if you like, hey Friendo, like it's such a Ned Flanders line, and the way he delivers that with that cold, calculated.
Friendo.
Oh. Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's almost like just those 2 performances alone he gets on my list. But he's a guy that anything that comes out I watch. There's not much, but anything that comes out, foreigner, I take note to be like, okay, I gotta see that. Mm-hmm. So,
mine, who I think is the funniest guy in the Marvel universe right now, is Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I think he'd be on my list soon. I want to see him do some more performances.
Do you watch Parks and Rec?
No, I didn't.
I love that show. That's one of my favorite shows of all time. Mm-hmm. And he is so funny in that show. He was supposed to be just a minor character in the first season, but he was so funny that they just brought him back. And they also kind of changed his character to be even more goofy and whatnot. He's so funny. And when he was... and I was like, I'd like to see him in more things. Like, he was kind of like a teen heartthrob when he started his career.
Oh, see?
Yeah, he was in some football show. It wasn't Friday Night Lights, but it was kind of like that.
Saturday Night Lights? No.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live. He just ran on and hit people. And he's such a funny guy. And in Guardians of the Galaxy, he blew me away. Like, he was so good.
Yeah.
And, like, even in Jurassic World, which is, in my opinion, an awful film, he was really good in it. I liked him.
Mediocre film. I wouldn't say awful, but
I have an issue with I'm sure the way the DC's going, they might do it is if they have a Superman and like, oh, we need frost breath. Oh yeah, I have frost breath. I've just never used it before. Like every goddamn issue that they got themselves in is because the dinosaur had a new power. Oh yeah, because we also bred it with this type of lizard. Oh yeah, it's got invisible. Why would you have an invisible dinosaur? That doesn't even make sense in an amusement park. So that's the whole thing. But I love Chris Pratt. And, like, I know he's got a bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I'm beyond the moon for. I just think he's great. I absolutely love him.
J-Law.
Oh, yeah. He's just... and there's just something about him that is so genuine. He just seems like an everyday guy that just works hard and is just genuinely funny.
Yeah. Here's one you're probably not going to like. Good old Tom Cruise.
You know what? I thought about putting him on my list. Because there's something about him. Mm-hmm. There's something about him. And it... Like, his whole personal life aside, which is just fucking... Like, I personally think he is batshit crazy. I think he's insane. But in movies, he is so charming. He is such a good leading man. Mm-hmm. He has, in my opinion, with the exception of maybe Vanilla Sky, has never really done a bad movie.
I would definitely disagree with that, but like...
What would you say? I don't blame Oblivion's faults on him.
I own Night and Day.
Honestly, to be honest, I never saw that because that's Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, it's not a great movie.
Cameron Diaz isn't an actress. She's
he's so good in it because he's playing like a spoofy Mission Impossible character. Like I think it's just I think he's been in bad movies, but I don't think he's ever.
It's kind of like Samuel L. Jackson and the same thing.
Yeah,
Samuel Jackson did a lot of shit movies, but he's never bad.
Yeah, and he's always good. Tom Cruise is always committed. Yeah. Whether it's Mission Impossible, whether it's Tropic Thunder, probably one of the best.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
But to me, it's, I get, what is it, Live, Die, Repeat now, but Edge of Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. He was phenomenal in it, and that's when I was like, you know what?
July.
I'm going to take back what I said about Tom Cruise, because for a while I was like, his career's dead. Like, it's, I don't see him coming back. He did that, and I was like, oh shit, he's here to stay. And then Mission Impossible 4, like, he's like, oh no, I just had a nap, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And... all the power to him. Except for Jack Reacher, they're very mediocre films.
Yeah.
Maybe to me they might just be like money for him. so he can go do like
maybe he likes
whatever he wants. Yeah. And maybe it's a project that he just likes to do.
He's gonna be the Mummy soon too. I'm curious to see how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
I will too, because like I love that they're trying to do like the Mummy and King Kong and Godzilla. Like I like that they're doing that, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Got next?
Okay, my next, Tom Hardy. My final one, Tom Hardy. The first time that I noticed him was in Rock'n'Rolla. Probably one of my favorite Guy Ritchie films, who I think is probably one of the most underrated directors in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. I can see why people like, oh, he's just like Tarantino, but I think he's got a bit
classier.
A bit classier.
I wouldn't say better, but like
I find him a lot funnier than Tarantino.
I'll disagree because I like Tarantino's. I like the dirty humor.
Yeah, and humor is incredibly subjective.
Oh yeah.
But like I love all his British films. Like I love Lock, Stock is incredible. He also gave us Jason Statham, so he gets a pass for life. I love his Sherlock movies, and I love that we can have a Sherlock like Robert Downey Jr. and like Benedict Cumberbatch, and they don't detract from one another because they're so totally different. And I think that's a props to both of those actors. But there's something about Tom Hardy. And then he was even as Bane. I absolutely loved him as Bane. I know some people kind of had issues with him.
I agree that people had issues, but I never did.
I loved him at Mad Max. He wasn't even bad. This Is War. Inception, he was great.
This Is War.
Yeah, like that was like an movie, but I was like, Tom Hardy's in it. He was all right.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that also could win a bunch of Oscars, but I don't think he's ever gonna. I don't think he gives a shit. And I think he's just always going to do stuff that he finds fun. I think he's always going to do stuff that he can have, like... I honestly think he should have won a fucking Oscar for The Revenant, because he was
so
way
good.
better than Leo. And that's not a shot at Leo, it's just because he had much more to chew on in that movie.
And, like, you hated him. You fucking hated him.
Who won the... Oh, right, Mark Brown, that's right.
Which was... Oh, my God.
There's so many people in that category. Like, give it to fucking Jacob Tremblay. Like, there's so many people that year could have fucking won and, like, Mark Brown. But, like... That was a perfect year where Tom Hardy could have won. And yeah, Tom Hardy to me is definitely, he's on my list as well. One of the best actors going today. He fully commits to the role. He sinks in that role. You forget Tom Hardy. Like I said, in every role he pretty much changes his voice. And it's crazy. I don't think he'll be James Bond. I know a lot of people want that. But it's like, I don't really care what he does because I'll be watching, you know? Because he's just a damn good actor.
He's interesting. And you know what I like?
And a great person that, like, stands up for, like, a lot. I think there's a question they asked about Mad Max, like, oh, how do you feel like an action movie being primarily geared towards women? Like, is that a bad thing? And he's like, why is this even a question? Like, there's been things like... just certain issues that he's not afraid to be like, this political answer. He'll just kind of say, like, fuck you. And say whatever he's thinking, and I like that.
And also, I'm going to kind of compare him to Frank Underwood.
Dolph Lundgren.
No.
Christopher Walken.
No, who plays Frank Underwood in House
of
Cards? Shut up, I know you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I know.
American Beauty. God damn it.
Carrie Lewis from Saucers. Gary Busey. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sylvester Stallone.
I can't do it. It's...
Morgan Freeman. I'm getting closer.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Brad Pitt. I'm giving you hints. Gwyneth Paltrow?
It's not. I'm so mad at you right now.
I'm just trying to think.
My hope.
Jim Carrey. Topher Grace. Ashton Kutcher. By the way, his name is Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, thank you. Oh God, I was like getting like tickled, and or like getting punched, and it finally stopped. It was like Kevin Spacey.
I knew it the whole time.
I know you didn't name enough names. I was just making it worse. Because I was trying to think of it. I was like, is it an M?
You couldn't see what he's starting to crumble. But I tried to help. I said Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and Johnny.
That's not helpful.
7. I said all those.
That is not. My issue was not, what is he in? It was what his name was. If you'd have been like Kevin Branagh, Kevin Feige, it would have been better. But regardless, the point was kind of like Ken Spacey. You don't really know anything about his life besides his closet homosexuality. So when he goes into these roles, you kind of believe it a little bit more because you don't know that much about him. So like that's one of the reasons I also like Tom Hardy, and he can sink into that role. Also, I think I broke Travis.
Just the way you just sound like mention that. I don't care if he is or not, but you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't either, but I would just be curious.
Okay, I'll list off a few here because we spent an hour talking about Mancrushes. Tom Hiddleston, I think I've talked about him before. Great actor. I think he's one of the biggest.
He was on my list too. He was my next one.
One of the biggest up-and-coming guy. I really do hope he is Bond. I won my heart with Loki. He's a fantastic guy and a really good-looking guy. He's same thing as most people on this list. Like, always putting in good performances. Always good, if not great. And he's obviously Marvel's best villain, and he carries that franchise as far as being the villain. I hope they never kill him off. We talked about Tom Hardy. We talked about everybody except two. I'll leave the most important one last. I added him this year because of many great movies as Oscar Isaacs. He's a guy that like super good looking, super good looking, but like he's really every role the past few years I've seen him in, between Ex Machina, between Drive, between Inside the Lou and whatever.
Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah, which I'm not a big fan of the film, but I liked him in it. And then Poe, he's just killing it, and he's fantastic, and I'm really excited to see where his career goes. And he's on there because he's just like, and he's a cool guy outside. And then my last one I have is, I've talked about many times, won't go into, is Mads Mikkelsen. Good in Casino Royale, but like, it's Hannibal, and it's the same thing as like Michael C. Hall, not much, but that show literally made, like, I don't want to say because you haven't seen anything, but it did things to me that I didn't think it was possible. When you watch it, I'll let you know. But it was a show that I love Breaking Bad, and I definitely got emotionally invested, but I've never cried as much as I have as a TV show, and it's because his portrayal of Hannibal Lecter to me, and sorry if you don't if you disagree, but I feel like it's miles better than Anthony Hopkins, because Anthony Hopkins is great at being a creep, but he brings like levels to this creep character and makes you get into his psyche, and it to me is one of the best performances I've ever seen. I desperately want the show to come back. And he's just a cool guy outside. The accent, he has like this very unique look about him, which is very sexy and mysterious. I love it. I love Mads Mikkelsen.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I get you.
So that was our Man Crush list. It was a lot longer than I actually anticipated. We spoke an hour of great actors / very good looking men.
And singers. Shout out to Michael Bublé.
And Michael Bubbles. Is there anything you want to say to our fans before we got out of here?
No, just interesting.
What? That doesn't even...
No, the point that I was getting is I didn't actually think I thought we'd have a lot more overlap than we did. Like, I thought it was going to be like, I knew you were going to have Sean Penn and you're going to have Fassbender, but I thought we'd actually like have a lot more in common. So yeah, that was interesting to see, but yeah.
But yeah, no,
it was a fun little hour talking about dudes.
Oh yeah, and that's what this podcast is for. This is for ranting, for raving, repeating all that. It's a random podcast. It's for fun. So I hope you had a lot of fun. Check us out on GeekVerse. Check out Dynamic Duo. Comic-Con's coming up. We have a really cool thing in store for Comic-Con. Find us on Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook, YouTube, the whole shebang, everywhere for your listening needs. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know when you'll hear from the Rant Rave Repeat crew next, but I promise you it will not be boring.